Dozens of neighbors taking their concerns about health care in our community directly to their elected officials. A nonprofit group critical of Novant Health holding a protest outside the new Hanover County Courthouse. WECT's Connor Smith was there earlier this afternoon and spoke with protesters. Connor, what was their goal?
Well, Fran, they want new Hanover County commissioners to step in here. And remember, the commission sold the hospital to Novant 5 years ago. The protesters believe commissioners can now help improve health care they consider not up to par. If you drove through downtown on Tuesday and saw the signs and heard the bells and chants, this is why. The five-star rally bringing attention to concerns at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Stephen Agnelli says county commissioners need to do something.
They really do. This is just getting too out of hand now.
The protesters say they deserve better. Signs pleading for an improved hospital instead of, quote, wasted taxpayer dollars in a facility that isn't close to 5 stars. Agnelli's son Daniel died at NHRMC in 2021 from a pulmonary embolism. His parents believe the hospital failed him.
There are plenty more people walking in there and either not making it out alive or they walk out worse than when they went in.
5 years ago, Novant Health bought the hospital for nearly $2 billion. Critics like Linnea Wiseman say the hospital's quality has dropped since, she believes, to a dangerous level.
I'm concerned that people here are really getting afraid of having to go to the hospital.
Dr. John Martell founded the 5-Star Project last year. Its goal is to improve care at the hospital. He told commissioners they need to hold the hospital accountable for not living up to their end of the agreement.
I have heard from countless residents of this county. They are traumatized, they are frightened, and they know their hospital is not safe enough and not good enough.
Agnelli and his wife just want to see a fix now.
If you have to go to the ER here because you're really suffering bad and you have to go to this hospital, you're in trouble.
We reached out to Novant Health for a response to today's protest. We are still waiting on a statement back from them. Once they do send that, we'll have it on our website. Fran?
Well, Connor, we just heard Agnelli say if you go to the ER, you're in trouble. Yep. That's what he said. And we've heard from a number of people concerned about how long they have to wait in the ER. Did county commissioners have any response to that tonight? Well,
commissioners usually don't respond to public comments made during their meetings, but we did reach out to each of the 5 commissioners for their thoughts, and we'll include any responses inside this story on our website.
All right, Connor, thanks.